Good morning, children. So, children, today we are going to start a very interesting chapter. Okay, it is the history class, you know. So, history chapter in the beginning already we have discussed so many things about. First, we go coming to the early history. Already we have discussed in the 6th century BCE, so many kingdoms were developed on the Ganga valleys. Now, among all these kingdoms, Magadha was the strongest kingdom among all the countries, and you know, during the 4th century BC, this kingdom was established a very powerful empire. And what is empire? What is empire? You tell me, children. Already we have discussed that people, when they are settled down fast, they were leading a nomadic life. They don't have any house. They are moving from one place to another in search of food, in search of their livelihood. And slowly they settle down in places and they build their own settlements. And these small settlements came to known as Janapadas. And the big settlements came to known as Mahajanapadas. And slowly these Mahajanapadas, meant big settlements, came to known as the kingdoms. And what is this empire? That means that the big areas of lands, these are known as the empires. And during this 4th century BC, the first empire was established, and this was established by the Mauryan rulers. And who were these Mauryan rulers? Before starting the Mauryan period, first we will discuss about the political condition. What was the political condition during that period? You have listened about Alexander the Great, yes or no? So, Alexander the Great, he was a Greek ruler of Macedonia. He came forward for world expedition. He wanted to conquer the whole of the world. So, when he came out, he wanted to, that means in the history, his invasion was a great invasion, and it is written in the history. And he conquered almost all the regions of the Mediterranean Sea, and he set forward to India and also conquered the Pacific Persian regions. Understand, before entering to India, he conquered all the Persian regions also. Understand, in this way he passed northwest frontiers. They entered the northwest frontiers, and at that time an area that was between the river Jhelum and Chenab, there was an area, and there one very powerful ruler of India was ruling over there. This is a very interesting story. I know all of you know about this story also, and I am telling this story. And that king name was Porus, and that king Porus was well prepared. He came to know that the Macedonian army was gathered in the river Jhelum, the bank of the river Jhelum. That's why the king Porus was well prepared to fight against these Macedonian rulers. But suddenly that Macedonian army attacked the Porus without his knowledge, so that the Porus was a brave fighter, and he fought bravely, and he was severely wounded in the fight and imprisoned, and he was produced before the Alexander Great. And Alexander Great questioned, how would you want to be treated? So, here the brave him replied, I should be treated as a king, as I have sought my motherland. And the Macedonian king Alexander, who was a great king, he was influenced by the answer of the Indian ruler, and he returned back his kingdom, and also he became a friend and ally of Porus. In this way, he wanted to go further. He crossed the river Chenab, Jhelum, and through the river Bias, and he reached up to river Ravi. Then he reached through near river Bias, and there his soldiers did not want to move forward because they were very tired. throughout the years they fought. They did not want to go further, and they also heard the story of the Nandas, because the land beside the river Bias was the empire of the powerful rulers of Nandas. They did not want to fight further. So with a heavy heart, Alexander returned from that region. So Alexander came to India in 326 BCE. So today your chapter name is the first empire. So Alexander came to India 326 BCE. And with a heavy heart he returned from India in 325 BCE after 1 year. And after 1 year, that means in 323 he died at Babylon in modern Iran. There he died. The part he had conquered in India, that means the northwestern frontiers of India, he appointed many generals to rule over these areas. And most among them, the most important among them was the Seleucus Nicator. He was appointed as the Governor General of northwest frontier of India. Northwest frontier of India. So after the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, this is the date of he declared himself as the king of that area. And this was the political condition of India when the Mauryans came to power. There is also another story related to it. What is the story? At that time already I have told, after the areas near the river Bias, the important ruler Nandas were ruling over it. At that time there was a learned, educated Brahmin was there. His name was Vishnugupta, who is famously known as Kautilya or Chanakya. Once he came to Pataliputra, the capital of Nandas, but he was humiliated by the Nanda rulers there. And on his way to return to Taxila, because Taxila was the birthplace of Kautilya. So when he was returning to Taxila, on the way he met Chandragupta Maurya. He saw very important signs of greatness on the body of this young boy, and he took that boy with him to his own motherland, and there he trained Chandragupta Maurya and gave all types of trainings about politics. And there Chandragupta Maurya declared himself as the king. When the situation when Alexander was died, Seleucus Nicator declared himself as the king of that northwest frontier. So at that time the death of Alexander the Great, so many impacts are there on India. What are the impacts? So the way Alexander came to India, he used the waterways and also used the landways. So these ways opened the route for the Indians to have trade on the western countries. And also here the northwestern frontier, the rulers of the northwestern frontier, they became weak, and it gave the chance to Chandragupta Maurya to prove himself, to attack the weak rulers, but came these areas under his own control. He declared himself as the king of the area, and he was supported by Chanakya, Kautilya, and first he conquered all the northwest frontier of the area, north areas. When he came to power, he first appointed Chandragupta Maurya as the prime minister. Then he thought about the small kingdoms which were there in the northern part. He conquered all the northern part, and then he thought about the northwest frontier. At that time, Seleucus Nicator was the ruler of that area, and he fought a severe battle with Seleucus Nicator, and in that battle Seleucus Nicator was defeated, and he was defeated. There Chandragupta Maurya married the daughter of Seleucus Nicator, Helen. The daughter of Seleucus Nicator is Helen. So Chandragupta Maurya married the Prince Helen, and he established the matrimonial relation with this Greek. In this way, the Mauryan Empire started. The Chandragupta Maurya combined all these small kingdoms into one, and made his vast empire. And this empire is known as the Maurya Empire. Which empire? It is known as the Maurya Empire. That means Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of the vast empire, and during his period administration was very good. People were lived very happily, and so many things are there. So next year, and he was succeeded. He ruled for 24 years. Happily, he gave good administration to the people for 24 years, from 321 BCE to 297 BCE. So after him, his son Bindusar came to throne, and then Chandragupta Maurya, Ashok the Great. So in this way, the Mauryan Empire extended. But children, one thing I want to say, we get all this information from different sources. What are these sources? You know, sources are different sources. First thing, sources is the Arthashastra. Let me erase all these things. Sources of information about all this history. First, the first information about the Mauryan period is the Arthashastra. First is the Arthashastra, written by Kautilya. You know, Kautilya is a great statesman, and he gave the detailed history of the Mauryan period. What was the political history, how the administration was going on, everything is in detail written in the Arthashastra. And second thing is the Indica of Megasthenes. Who was Megasthenes? Megasthenes was a Greek ambassador who was sent by Seleucus Nicator to the court of Chandragupta Maurya. After the marriage, after matrimonial relation with the Greeks, Seleucus Nicator sent Megasthenes, he was an ambassador, to Chandragupta's court, and there he remained for many years, and he observed the condition of the India. What was the political condition, what is the social condition, how the people are living, everything he observed, and he gave the detailed history in his writing Indica. This is the second part of information. Another information is the pillar and rock edicts of Ashok. Ashok was the third great ruler of Mauryan Empire, and he, in his rock and pillar edicts, he also gave information about the kings and about the administration. This is another source of information about the Mauryans. And then is fourth one is the fourth one is coins. Coins of the Mauryan period. So these are the sources of information from where we getting all the information about the political condition of India during 4th century BC and the administration of Chandragupta Maurya during that period. Not only Chandragupta period, about all the rulers of the Mauryan period. Okay children, this much for it today, and next class we will discuss about Bindusara and Ashoka the Great. Okay children, thank you, have a nice time.